What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Thralls of Metal. I'm Rin.
Necrotic Nick.
Jammin John.
And we're bringing you another album review. This time, The Obsessed. Gilded something or other. Sorrow. Gilded Sorrow. The Obsessed. The Obsessed! Gilded Sorrow.
Yes, that is definitely correct. This also comes out on the 16th of February on Ripple Music. This band formed in 1980 in Maryland. Believe it or not, this is only their 5th studio full-length in all that time. And, well, I mean, that's partially due to the fact that WINO likes being in bands. Check your band right now. WINO might be in it.
He played a lead somewhere you're not aware of.
How did he even get in the studio? I don't know, he just showed up. Like, why don't just let him riff? Because that is what The Obsessed is. This is old school doom metal, stoner metal, I don't know, kind of a hybrid of the two. Either way, it has WINO on it. That means riffs are going to be there.
Starts off with the song Daughter of an Echo, creepy sounds and funky grooves.
Woo!
And then sludgy riffs.
With the funky beat.
Very much in the vein of like Clutch immediately. Just, alright.
Yeah, the Clutch boogie, that Sabbath swing. For me, like, The Obsessed, I've been listening to these guys for years, and they have kind of like 2, maybe 3 gears. One of the gears is that kind of up-tempo boogie, and they do really well at that. The other big gear is definitely the more stony, you know, like airbrushed wizard on the side of an ECONLINE van kind of vibe, and that's the vibe that I really dig. But they kind of balance it out really well. And in terms of how this album opens up, it starts off with more of that kind of groovy boogie, like, you know, Daughter of an Echo. It's not okay, despite the strange lyrics. I mean, it just sounds very, very angry. Like, why are you talking about me? I'll stab you with a fork.
I mean, lyrically, you know, it's you know, I mean...
Whatever it is, he means that shit, though.
Yes, he does.
I mean, he sounds
Yes,
like
he
he
does.
means it.
He definitely means it.
But what he really means are the riffs. The riffs are just great, and when they get that boogie going, like, there's so much of that bluesy sort of swing to it that I love. Like, a lot of, like, Texas blues, especially in this song, like ZZ Top.
But this record isn't all groovy party. It eventually switches to the let's get stoned gear. Songs like Gilded Sorrow, Stoned Back to the Bomb Age. I mean, obviously, right there, Stoned Back to the Bomb Age. Gets more mid-tempo, and we're talking about some sleazy, dirty riffs. Stanky, stony riffs.
What do my fingers smell?
Oh, dude, that main riff on Stoned Back to the Bomb Age, which I'm trying not to say it in reverse because that seems like that's the correct way to say it.
No, you gotta...
But, no, we're speaking WINO here.
Yes.
And, man, that drone, that heavy, just, you know, primal, simple, ugly, knuckle-dragging, just stoner metal riff is just about perfect.
Now that's what I call a tasty riff volume of this song.
Yes. It just kind of drones its way through. It's like, you know, just a few notes, honestly, but it's the tone.
Yeah.
Simple bendies, but just...
Big and nasty.
It undulates, it lurches.
It undulates, yeah. It's
Yeah.
undulating.
But that is also partially due to the wonderful production on here. Like, this thing is warm. The bass tone, I absolutely love in here. Like, it just gives this warmth. Like, it's a big old stoner hug that this album gives you. And the guitars find this nice sweet spot between, like, a good... like kind of like doom metal crunch and that warm stoner metal fuzz. And I mean, again, it's WINO. These are things I've come to expect over the years, is him finding that perfect kind of stoner tone, and especially when it comes down to those like more Sabbathy jams, like that long desert drive, you know, in the night with possibly the headlights on, possibly not. I don't know. Depends on how much you've had to drink or what else you're on at the moment.
Maybe you don't even have headlights. Right?
Maybe not.
Maybe they were shot out.
Maybe you're on a bike.
Maybe you mouthed off of that cop too many times.
Maybe they were shot out of the 1987 Trans Am Blue that you took that night in New Mexico.
That is oddly specific. And honestly, there's like this kind of tipping point in the album where like the whole middle section just gets violently high, I would say. Because like right around Realize a Dream, you get that kind of like desert rock sort of like lead in. Like it's kind of spacey and atmospheric. Like, the whole mood changes. Like, yeah, the boogie's already kind of slowed down. It's like, oh, man, things are starting to kick in. We need to just, like, kind of conserve energy because we might end up on the TV later. Who knows? But, yeah, the whole vibe shifts. And honestly, I think the production does, too, because all of a sudden the bass gets even warmer and the riffs just feel extra stony.
Yeah, the bass gets warmer, and it sounds like it points like he's slapping the strings with like a fucking flashlight or something. Like, it just gets really big. And then Gilded Sorrow, the title track, right there, just darker. Immediately darker. Very epic, good builds, and very stony.
Yeah.
That's where it starts.
The desert rock vibe on the title track is very prominent, and it's interesting because like it has like a little bit of a Middle Eastern tinge to some of the riffs, so you get like a little bit of the Sahara, but also a little bit of the Great Basin too.
Also on that song, the Planet Caravan-esque watery effect that there's on the vocals is really cool and really trippy, and it just adds to the what's happening, man, kind of vibe going on there.
Oh, the lead work too. It's bluesy, it's kind of squawky.
It's sexy.
It sounds
It's a little sexy.
dirty and a little bit dusty, and how that kind of segues into the back half of the song where it kind of gets a little bit more like dark and sinister.
Spooky.
Like, it sounds like at some point in the song, WINO fell down a mine shaft because you get this, and the band played on.
Yeah, well,
But, I mean, it
Show
starts
must go on.
getting
It's gotta go.
spooky and creepy. And honestly, one of the cool things on this album, and I mean, it's kind of a trope of most of the projects that WINO has been in, which he's been in a fair amount.
There's many.
Transitional atmosphere. In between each song, you get these big soundscapes where they're just like feedback, they're occasionally synths. They're really great at kind of capturing the mood on here. And the mood is definitely pretty high. Desert. Like, not like...
High desert.
Yeah, high desert.
High desert, yeah, not
talking
anything
about-
else. We're not
no.
talking things. We don't do those.
This is
things
WINO,
here.
Portrait of Sobriety.
Yeah.
Yen Sleep had a Nola-flavored riff gumbo with a whiskey reduction marijuana sauce, which was extra warm and bendy.
Yeah, Yen Sleep is a pretty badass song. There's a lot more transitions on it. It's just kind of a little bit all over the place, like, kind of like a gumbo. There's a lot of different ingredients in there. I like the cool broken down riff on there. And again, like some slightly more sinister, doomy melodies towards the end.
To me, actually, that song reminds me of Spirit Caravan, which, again, was another WINO project. One of my favorite WINO projects.
My favorite WINO project, yeah.
But yeah, that, if he would have not sang at all in that song, it would have been a Spirit Caravan song.
Yeah, it's more of a jam session.
Yeah.
Like it's a little bit more loose, and they're kind of just free flowing around the riffs, man.
But that just takes it where it goes, man.
Now, while most of this I think is like really solid, like if you're a longtime Obsessed fan, you should definitely get this because you're getting the Obsessed. Yeah. I do think there are some weaker tracks on here. And mostly it's when they're kind of like in the more up-tempo range. Like, I like It's Not Okay musically, but lyrically, like, it was starting to kind of just get to me. I was like, it's not great.
Well.
But the song Jaylene, that one should have not been on this album. Like, it kind of derails it a bit.
That one, if you go to like a seedy bar in the middle of the night, and someone's hammered playing What's New Pussycat on the jukebox a bunch, and you just want to put in a little bit of your own flavor with some Budweiser and some American flags,
dude,
that would be Jaylene.
Yeah, dude, this song hits about as hard as room temperature Bud Light.
I mean, it's hot bar rock served fresh out the fryer.
Yeah, it's like they fried a shoe. It's like kind of a standout for a lot of bad reasons. Like, it's got like some cool 80s rock riffs. Like, it feels kind of like, almost like a stoner metal version of a power pop song. Like, you stripped out the beefy, warm tone and, kind of slicked it up a little bit with some, less stony production. You might have like a Cheap Trick riff. But what you don't have are really good vocals on this one. In fact, like, this is the one where some of the vocals really didn't jive me, because for the most part, I think WINO does his own thing. Like, sometimes, it's a little bit off, But for the most part, like, especially on, again, those slow, stony songs, like, yeah, he's kind of the element. Like, I'm just kind of floating around with these riffs, man. I love that vibe. But here, like, there's a lot of, like, I'm really searching for that note moment.
He'll find it.
Yeah, eventually.
Give him time.
A little bit of searching on that chorus. Like, he's just saying Jaylene in every octave. Like, that one work?
Yeah, fuck it.
Well, I mean, you know, you want to be natural. I mean,
It's very natural.
nothing's auto-tuned here. Like, this is this man singing. It just didn't go so hot on that song.
Yeah. And then there's the last track, which we all had questions when it came down to the title, Lucky Free Nice Machine. Like, that's, like, word salad. I don't know what that means at all.
Pick 4 words out of a hat.
Yeah.
Lucky, free, nice machine. I'm not even going to rearrange them, fuck it.
Like, he was talking about AI on one of these songs, and I think he got an AI-generated song title with this one. But it's really cool for the entire minute that it's there.
Yeah, it's really good, really mid-tempo southern sludge. It's probably actually one of the dirtiest riffs on the album. And you got great harmonies going on. It should have been way longer than a minute.
Just humped it. Humpy.
You could have gone with like a 5-minute instrumental and it would have been amazing.
Yeah, and this album is, you know, about 37 minutes, so I felt like there was definitely room for some serious dry humping on that riff. Like, that could have been an awesome instrumental lead out. I could have tolerated that for like 6 minutes. That was that cool of a riff. But yeah, it's just this little extra kind of tagged on the end, and I don't know, like, it just left me with, well, musical blue balls, honestly.
I want more.
But overall, honestly, this was pretty damn solid. And I mean, I went in expecting the Obsessed. I 100% got the Obsessed, and I want to go ahead and give this 3.5 stars. Musically, I think this is, you know, for the most part, just absolutely awesome. Like, dude, just riffs. But man, when they get stony and drony and doomy, that is my favorite side of all of the bands that WINO has been in.
Just like a warm, stony hug.
Especially the Obsessed, because man, they just do it well. And the production here is just about perfect. Like, honestly, I think the production's even better on here than it was on Sacred, which Sacred was really solid sounding. I do have some issues with some of the lyrics, and sometimes the vocals were a little bit off. And, you know, there's some songs that aren't as strong as others. But yeah, Stoned Back to the Bomb Age, I will jam that any day. Like, that is, like, probably my big standout here next to the title track. But yeah, overall, this is just a solid stoner doom album done by a certified professional in the genre. If you're a big fan of stoner or doom metal, like, honestly, The Sword, Sleep, Black Sabbath, St. Vitus. Yeah, just check this out.
I'm going to go also with a 3.5. Scott Weinrich is America's Lemmy. I believe that. Because, you know, England, they got Lemmy, they got Ozzy, they got... Give us somebody. Well, we got WINO. And he's been going strong since the 70s. And he's still looks like he could whoop some ass. This is just another great, groovy, thick, doomy album in WINO's giant catalog of St. Vitus, The Obsessed, Spirit Caravan, Premonition 13, Place of Skulls, Shrine Builder. There's probably a couple more. He was on Probot. It's freaking WINO. That Les Paul is so thick and meaty. Candy bars! Oh, sorry. If you're a fan of anything doom-laden from the Sabbathian school of molasses, this is for you.
I'm also going to give it 3.5. To be honest, for me personally, I thought the record took a minute to get going. Not that I don't like the opening track or It's Not Okay or Realize a Dream, but for me, when it got down to Gilded Sorrow, Stoned Back to the Bomb Age, Wellspring, Yen Sleep, and even the last track that pissed me off, it was only a minute long. The riffs open up and the songs breathe and it gets all stony and dark and chuggy and just stanky. Just a bunch of times we just all kind of looked at each other and went, ugh. And that's what I like. It's groovy. It's melodic, it's catchy. Yeah, that rich, warm production just brings it all home. I've been listening to not only The Obsessed, but Spirit Caravan and most of what Rin mentioned. I'm not going to go through all the band names again, but like I've been listening to WINO for a long time, and it's just good, sludgy, doomy, tasty goodness. Yeah, much like Nick said, if you're an Obsessed fan, you're still going to be an Obsessed fan. I would recommend checking this out. But yeah, for me, it's those stanky, nasty riffs that are in here. I just feel all warm and stony.
So, if you enjoyed this review, give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe, because we do stuff like this all the time. We are also on Patreon. If you'd like to help us out there, there's a link down below to thrallsmetal.com. Our Patreon link is there. It is also on our channel, on the banner, on the bottom right-hand corner. But if you're looking for Thralls Metal stuff, you have to go to thrallsmetal.com. We have new t-shirts. We have old t-shirts that are discounted, provided we have your size. We also have hats, too, so if you're looking for any of that stuff, click the link down below.
Last but certainly not least, always a ton going on at Thralls Metal. You guys know this. You guys have been watching us for a while. That's one of the reasons we do this. Anyway, we got album reviews, we got collection updates, we got discography rankings, Black Dahlia Murder's coming up, and then Meshuggah. We got What's John Jammin'. Eventually, I promise I will get there. But really, once again, we do this for you guys. Thank you to all of you who have continued to support us and follow us, who have subscribed, who talk to us all the time. Whatever. We appreciate it. We genuinely do. Thralls of Metal has become a big part of our lives. It's gone a whole lot farther than I ever thought it would go because I know us. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you guys absolutely rule. Tons of stuff coming in the future. Yeah, we have pretty much an endless well of stuff we want to talk about, and we probably will. So, one more big thank you, because you guys are awesome.
Thank you.
And we will catch you later.